Hey guys, SuperHorrorBro Mike here, and in today's Bendy and the Ink Machine video, we're doing something a little bit more chilled, a little bit more laid back than usual. As you can probably tell, I haven't scripted this video, and it's not going to be a highly edited analysis type video. In fact, I'm just sticking some gameplay in the background, and I'm talking to you guys about the new information that's just come out for the new Bendy game, and in fact, the secret project from Kindly Beast as well, which we're going to call Project Howdy for now, because we really don't have any kind of name for it. Now, if you didn't know, there's a new teaser for this Project Howdy out, which just released on YouTube yesterday on the Kindly Beast official page. I'll leave a link to it below. We're going to watch that later in the video, and I'm going to quickly go through my thoughts on that. And the other piece of news, of course, is there's some more Bendy news which has just come out about the new Bendy game, which is pretty exciting. So we're going to look at that first. And this is actually something that came out as a tweet on the official Bendy and Joey Drew Studios page. Now, if you want more of these types of videos, guys, where it's a bit more casual and I'm just talking like this, you know, into the microphone, just updating you on the news and giving my opinions on it, then let me know. The reason I've made this video today, I wasn't going to actually make a video on this, but so many of you guys were commenting to me, oh, there's a new Bendy teaser out, can you cover it? I thought I haven't got a lot of time to make a video, so I'll just make a chilled out video like this today. So with that said, we're looking now at the Bendy Will Return picture, which is something that came out on the Bendy page, on the official Twitter page for Bendy. It's got the hashtags Bendy, Batim, and Bendy and the Ink Machine. I don't think that means too much. Obviously, we know it's not a game that's called Bendy and the Ink Machine, and apparently it's not a direct sequel or prequel to the original Bendy game, which is important to keep in mind as we look at this teaser. Now, the teaser basically says Bendy will return, and it's got a little asterisk at the end because it says below, in another gripping episodic horror game, returning you to the studio you know well, or at least you think you do. So as you can see, guys, this is going to be episodic, and that's the first piece of this text that I want to cover. So what does episodic mean? Well, if you didn't know, episodic basically means chapters. So we're going to get this new Bendy game in chapters as we did with the original game. Now that's exciting for me because as a theorist, as someone that likes to cover the game piece by piece, it basically means we're going to get the same setup as last time, where each chapter comes out, we probably get 3, 4, 5 months between each chapter, and you know, we get to theorize on the story, where it's going, we get to build hype for the next chapter, we get to be part of a community discussing what's going on and what we think's happening. And of course, the developers are fully aware that this goes on. They love the community of theorists, I believe. I think they really like that. People, you know, are so invested in their story, and they like to drip feed us the story and keep us guessing. The game comes out, we get to theorize over it, and then the next chapter comes out and we get some answers, and we get to keep guessing about other things in the story. I remember with the original Bendy and the Ink Machine, of course, it kept us guessing right up to the end on certain things, and it still left some things hanging and some things that may well get resolved in this new release, of course. With that said, guys, of course, it does also mean that the game could come out sooner than we think. Now, originally, I believe this new Bendy game would come out in 2020 as a full release. We'd had Mike Mood and Memetly, I believe, on Twitter sort of state that they weren't a fan of making a game in an episodic way and they wouldn't want to do that again. Now, it seems like they've gone back on that, or maybe they were just talking about their next game and they like the way that Bendy works like that. We know, of course, they have got a brand new team working for them. Carmen Interactive, who made Bendy Run, is now owned by Mike Mood and Memetly and their Kindly Beast studio, and has formed Joey Drew Studios, who are making this new Bendy game, I believe. I think that's what's happened anyway. So they've got 30 new staff members working on this game. And what that basically means, guys, is that the game is probably coming a lot sooner than we think. Now, as it's coming out episodically, obviously they only have to finish 1 chapter at a time before they release it. So I think we may get 1, at most 2 chapters of this new Bendy game this year, and then we'll also have Project Howdy, which is the exciting new game from Kindly Beast that we are going to talk about in a moment. But either way, guys, what this means is there will be continued Bendy theories on this channel. I will be covering all the news as it comes out, as I'm doing here, but you know, usually I do it in a more sort of intense type video, which I script and plan thoroughly, so you get it in a bit of a better way than this, because this is just me talking, you know, sort of rambling on. But what it means is, guys, there's going to be a community here for Bendy still, so that's pretty exciting. You're going to get Bendy videos from me for at least the next year and a half, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be exciting. There'll be theories soon about what I think will go on in this new chapter. I just want to wait on a little bit more news coming out about it before we dive into that. But with that said, guys, let's move on to the second part of this text on this new image, and it says we'll be returning to the studio we know well, or at least the the studio we think we know. And basically, what that means, guys, is that the studio is going to be the same, the characters are going to be the same, but it's going to be different in some way. So how did I interpret this when I was looking at at this image? Well, basically, the way I see it, we've got the employee handbook coming out, which is going to expand on characters, and that's coming out later this year. We've also had teasers from Joey Drew and Wally Frank so far about, their characters and expanding the lore there. We had a whole thing about Sammy and Susie Campbell, being a potential couple, which came out in a new audio log. So obviously, as Vermeetly stated in the past, in one of his YouTube videos, he wants to expand on these characters and the universe of Bendy itself, and that sounds like exactly what's happening here. We're going back to the old workshop once again, to Joey Drew Studios. We're going to have the same characters once again, but it's going to be completely different. So how does that even work? Well, if you remember, the story of Bendy and the Ink Machine essentially puts us into a time loop. So my thoughts on this is going to be a different timeline entirely, because each of these time loops for each character could be completely different. Henry's stuck in an infinite loop, it seems, and he has to break free of it. We might not even be seeing the story from Henry's point of view this time. It may be like a prequel after all, although they've said it isn't a prequel, but more of an origin story, where we're actually looking at events from a different character entirely, which is quite exciting. Perhaps we're going to see it from Sammy's point of view, from Wally's point of view, even from Joey's point of view, the creation of Bendy, and a different timeline of events completely. I'm not entirely sure, but I do believe this could be an alternate telling of events, as of course we had the line at the end of Bendy and the Ink Machine, where the little girl says to her Uncle Joey, "Tell us another one, Uncle Joey," or "Tell me another one, Uncle Joey." It could be a new story from Joey Drew, with the same characters and the same environment, but as we did see from Joey's, storyboards at the end of the first game, there's many different stories in this world to tell, and so this could be an entirely different sort of telling of events. But I'm kind of going over the same point, guys. The point is, I think this will have the same characters, same environments, but it will be changed enough to make it different. We can already see that the graphics are improving. We've seen the new tape recorder model. We'll obviously get new story information and new character interactions, and as probably a new protagonist as well as our main protagonist we're playing as. Perhaps a new artist at the studio, a new worker that's just starting there, I don't know. But it will feature Bendy, and it will be once again another horror game, which I'm excited for, in an episodic fashion. Now, I will dive into a proper theory on this at some point, guys, don't worry. This isn't my theory, this is just my first thoughts after seeing that teaser image and putting this video out for you. Now, if you're still with me, guys, we are actually going to move over to the other piece of information we had, which is the exciting new project from Kindly Beast, Project Howdy as I call it, but that's of course not its official name. And we're going to watch this video now. We've got a new trailer. I'm going to show you the trailer now, guys. We're going to watch it together, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. So let's sit back, relax, watch the new trailer for Project Howdy, and I'll quickly talk about that afterwards. Okay guys, so as you can see, it's very similar in style to the original trailer. What we do have this time is different music, and the music itself sounds like very Western themed. Now this of course fits in with the line "Good Day Y'all," which is what this new trailer's called. The original trailer was called Howdy, of course, so it seems to be a Western themed game set to an 80s aesthetic. Now I've already gone over a theory to do with this. As I said, I believe it's going to be a little bit like something like Child's Play, or the Puppet Master, with these demonic puppets that potentially are created by a toy maker or something like that, all chasing down the player. What this trailer shows, of course, is a new character. It's a character with long hair, seems to be, again, a puppet or marionette of some kind. He has a top hat on, almost like a scarecrow looking character, but again, it fits right into that Wild West style. So it obviously is going to be Wild West themed at this point, and it could be something like Westworld, where we go to a puppet Wild West theme park and it's haunted. Perhaps we're going to have all these Wild West puppets pursuing us through this sort of Western styled world, but either way it is going to be Western themed, it seems. Now, we really don't have much more information on this, guys, but I do want to stress that I do think this project is actually going to be more exciting to me personally than the new Bendy game, and you might think that's a weird statement to make. You've got to remember, Bendy and the Ink Machine was the first project from Mike Mood and Vermeetly creating their own sort of major game release. So Bendy was sort of their like amateur project, when they were like learning the ropes and learning, we've seen how far Bendy's gone from when it was originally released to how it is now, right? It had a massive change in quality, and this project is is like their first professional project, building from the ground up, when they know what they're doing, they've got a big team behind them, and that is pretty exciting, right? So this project shouldn't be discounted. This project is their next game after Bendy and is something completely original. We don't know a lot about it, so I can't get too excited right now, but I am really excited for the concept, especially if it's going to be like recapturing the style of 80s horror and 90s horror movies that I really loved. So that is exciting. That's coming soon, guys. Of course, 2019, we are going to see the release of this game, and just like Bendy, if there are theories to be made, I will be doing theories on this game, as well as, of course, just playing it on the channel for fun, so you guys can watch that if you're not able to play it yourself. But some people have been also asking, is this tied into Bendy? Because, of course, we had the Red Dead Redemption sort of tie-in teaser for Bendy last year, where they made this poster, which, of course, lampooning the style of Red Dead Redemption 2 with a poster that looked very similar. And people are saying, oh, that means that this is tied into Bendy. Well, no, I don't think so at all. I know the developers wanted to do something completely different to Bendy and sort of distance themselves from just being known as Bendy Studio. I don't believe in any way, shape or form that this game is in any way related to Bendy, and that's great, because that means we're getting this game and a new Bendy game. We get both, guys. It doesn't have to be one or the other, you know? And I think that's really exciting personally. Let me know what you think in the comments below, but I think the fact we're getting 2 new games from this developer is pretty awesome. And I'm going to be covering both of them, of course, on this channel. But anyway, guys, this has just been like a rambling video, of course, going over the information that's just come out. I only made this because you guys really wanted me to comment on it. So hopefully that's been alright for you guys today. It's been very chilled and very laid back, so hopefully you've enjoyed that. But with that said, guys, I'm going to go now. Thanks for watching if you have today. Of course, remember to subscribe, follow this channel for all the latest Bendy news and theories, and I will see you guys on the next one.